Mr. Humphries, are you free?
I'm free.
Forward, please.
Mind the door.
What? Are you being served, sir? I'm Humphries, and I'm free. Are you being served, sir? What would you like to see? If you'd like some swimming trunks, we've got them plain or spotty. We've also got some see-through that really tan your...
Beachwear.
Oh, these are gay. There's plenty round the back. And if you'd like a bit of flash, then try a plastic Mac.
Are you being served, sir?
I'm Humphries, and I'm free.
Are you being served, sir?
What would you like to see?
Going off.
Good morning, sir. Are you being served, or are you just looking?
Well, I'm looking for someone to serve me.
In that case, I'm free. Now, what would you like? A sports coat, trousers, or a nice woolly pulley?
No, it's about these socks. I bought these socks here last week. I've washed them once only, and look at them. I mean, look. They're supposed to be non-shrink.
Oh, I see. Here. Yes, well, I think I know what the trouble is, sir. You see, these are pure wool. Mm-hmm. And not all wool comes from the same sheep. Some come from Queensland and some come from Tasmania. Now, those Tassie ones down there, they don't shrink because they're standing out in the rain all day long. Obviously, that's the Queensland and that's the Tasmania.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Well, what I'll do, sir, I'll get the Queensland lot to send their sheep down to Tasmania.
No, I want my money back.
Yeah. Did you wash them yourself, sir, or did your wife wash them?
No, I live alone.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What did you wash them in?
The bath.
No, I mean, what did you use?
Water.
Water. Was it hot water?
Oh, well, of course it was hot water.
Oh, well, there you are. You see, it should have been Luke. It says so. Luke.
I can't breathe that. It's too small.
I know it is. It's shrunk.
No. I want my money back.
Mr. Mankiewicz, are you free?
At the moment, Mr. Humphries, yes.
This gentleman has failed to observe the washing instructions on the sock, and it's shrunk, and he'd like his money back. What is your verdict, Mr. Mankiewicz? Mr. Vankiewicz always deals with these things.
Mm. Well, we must give the customer his money back, Mr. Humphries.
Certainly, Mr. Mankiewicz.
On one sock.
Oh, now, what was this big news you were going to tell me?
Today's a very special day.
Well, what's so special about it?
My pussy comes of age.
Is it 21 years since you first had it?
No! I first had it 3 years ago, but in cat life, 1 year counts as 7, which makes her 21 today.
Are you going to give her the key of the door?
Oh, she doesn't need one. She's got a little flap. I'll show you what I have got for her. 1 leg of southern fried chicken, a mink collar with a silver bell.
Oh, is it real mink?
Of course, I couldn't give her the imitation one. It's made of cat. A record of June Bronhill.
Oh, does she like her?
Oh, no. It's the only way I can get her out at night. And something that she's been absolutely longing for. A clockwork mouse.
Let's see it go.
Where's Captain Wagstaff?
Oh, he still isn't here yet.
Oh, Red, where is it? Oh, dear.
So, I bunged this pineapple in the hole, you see, and I said, give me a ring tomorrow and let me know if it's stopped. Ow!
Mr. Humphries, what on earth are you doing?
There's a mouse round me drawers.
Here it is, look, it's clockwork. Is this another of your jokes, Mr. Randall?
Not guilty, Captain Wagstaff.
I'm in no mood for practical jokes. Now, what idiot released this mouse on the floor, I shall count to 10, and if nobody owns up, we shall remain after the store closes until the matter is resolved. 1, 2, 3...
If you don't own up, I'll
4,
tell on you.
Oh, you wouldn't do that, would you?
Yes, I would. I've got
6,
a date.
Sneak.
7...
Put your hand up.
8... Mrs. Crawford. Am I to understand that you are the miscreant?
The what?
The person who released this object.
Well, yes.
And I don't want an explanation. I am confiscating it. If you wish to retrieve it, you will find it at Mr. Dunkley's office. There's been far too much laxity on the floor of late. You're all getting very sloppy.
He doesn't usually go on like that. I think there's something wrong with him. He probably had another row with his wife, like that time she threw the custard all over him and made him sleep in the spare room for a week.
If I was married to Mrs. Wagstaff, I'd sleep in the spare room all the time.
I don't think he's very well. His nostrils are all drawn.
Is that bad?
Well, our milkman's horse had drawn nostrils. You know, one day it dropped dead in the shafts.
You're not suggesting that that's going to happen to Captain Wagstaff, are you?
Well, let me put it this way. If he was delivering my milk, I'd order an extra 3 pints.
I can reassure you it is not as serious as that.
Now, how do you know what it is?
Because I do. I was told in the strictest confidence yesterday.
Well, you can tell us in the strictest confidence today.
It's a very delicate matter in a very difficult place.
Mr. Mankiewicz, anyone who knows me will tell you that I am not a gossip. It won't go any further.
Well, apparently, he went down to see Mr. Franco yesterday in sports for some jogging shorts. Well, you know how vain he is. He wasn't satisfied till he tried on 3 pairs, and Mr. Franco noticed that he had a boil, a very large boil.
Where?
Where? Oh, where is it? Tell me. Oh, poor man.
Well, don't keep it to yourselves. Tell me. Well, I didn't see a boil on his thumb.
Not on his thumb.
That Captain Wagstaff. All I did was use the wrong finger to ring up the till, and I got a no sale.
Oh, which one did you use?
It's immaterial, Mr. Rand. When he saw that little red flag, he came charging over to my counter and he went mad for about 5 minutes.
Mind you, a boil where he's got one must be very painful.
Well, I'm sure we all feel for him.
Ah, you speak for yourself. I reckon it's justice, you know. He's been rotten to me ever since I joined, and I've had to take it sitting down.
Oh, well, now you've got your revenge. You can't take anything sitting down.
Keep your voices down. We don't want this thing to spread.
Is it catching?
Look, I was told this in the strictest confidence. People are very sensitive about boils, so don't mention it.
Well, I wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't be that cheeky.
Good morning, Captain Wagstaff. What have you got there?
A cup of tea.
That thing in your hand.
Oh, this. It's a rubber ring. The medical department have had a lot of complaints about the quality of the rubber, and I volunteered to test it for a few days.
Well, look, if you're going to test it, I think you want to be a bit rougher than that. You know, bounce up and down on it real hard. Hey, ho, hey!
That will come later. Oh, I must say any resemblance between that and tea is purely coincidental.
Well, that's because they don't bring the water to the boil.
There seems to be a lot of hilarity this morning. I suppose, as usual, I shall be the last to know what's caused it. Well, just because I'm reading the paper doesn't mean everyone has to stop talking.
There's a very interesting article in that paper about the great train robbery.
Yes, I was reading that on the bus this morning.
What, standing up?
Yes, full as usual. My theory is that most of the money finished up in South America.
I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it.
Oh, I expect they will in the end.
You know, don't you? It's no good trying to hide your sniggering, Miss Buxton. You know, don't you?
Know what, Captain Wagstaff?
About my affliction. How did you find out?
Someone told me.
Who?
Mrs. Crawford.
I see. And who told you, Mrs. Crawford?
Well, I don't like to tell tales, but as we're all sneaking, it was Mr. Randall.
Oh, I knew Mr. Randall would be in this somewhere. Who told you?
Wild horses wouldn't drag this information from my lips, but I will point.
I'm surprised at you, Mr. Mankiewicz. I'm surprised at all of you. Hitherto, I'd regarded you as my friends.
Captain Wagstaff, I'm sure I speak for every one of us when I say your secret is safe with us on the 3rd floor.
Hello, Captain Wagstaff. I was all asking after you down in the packing department. How's a boil on your bum?
Sorry to keep you, everyone.
I wish to complain. I've been made a laughingstock throughout the entire store because of a grave breach of confidence by a member of another department, to wit, Mr. Franco of Sports.
Get to the point, Wagstaff.
But it all occurred in the fitting room, and everyone knows that what occurs in a fitting room is in the strictest confidence.
That's very true.
While trying on a pair of jogging shorts, Mr. Franco became acquainted with my affliction and bandied it about the store.
Well, I thought you'd released the news yourself. I heard about it in the lift this morning.
It's not so bad us knowing, but when it gets down to the packing department, it's too much.
My first instinct was to go and punch Mr. Franco on the nose. But since the whole affair brings Bone Brothers into disrepute, I feel it proper to go through official channels.
I quite agree. I'll phone Mr. Franco now.
I would never have passed it on if I'd known he'd obtained the information from the fitting room.
Oh, we never told no one about that Burbot came in with a limerick tattooed on her.
What was that?
There once was a couple of rockers, went out with a girl with big...
That will do, Miss Wagstaff.
Ah, Mr. Franco. Dunkley here, 3rd floor. I've got Captain Wagstaff with me. He feels you should apologize. Hey, what? I don't think you should take that attitude. He feels very strongly about it. His first instinct was to punch you on the nose, and he's quite capable of it.
In passing, you might add that I was the welterweight runner-up for the RASE and Puckapunyal.
Ah. He was the welterweight champion of Puckapunyal. I assure you he's not bluffing. He's come from the sort of background where a gentleman takes a fellow like you down to the gym, puts the gloves on and gives him a damn good hiding. Oh, I see. He accepts the challenge. 5 rounds? Oh, that's fine by us. He'll go 10 if you like. Right then, Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock.
He's flexing his muscles. Oh, isn't he marvellous? I'm just going to get him to sign this bill. Are you free, Captain Wagstaff?
At the moment, Mrs. Crawford.
I just want you to sign this bill.
But it's blank. You haven't sold anything.
I know. I just want your autograph. We'd like you to know that we in the ladies' department is very proud of you.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Crawford.
Oh, thank you, Captain Wagstaff.
You look at him, he's basking in it.
If I was in his position, I'd like to think that I'd do the same. I wouldn't, but I'd like to think it.
Hey, you're doing all right, aren't you?
Well, they do seem to admire a man who sticks to his principles.
Oh, they do admire you. And they're very sorry for you.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Crocker?
Oh, well, the word has it that Mr. Franco is very handy with his fists. When he was in the Navy, he boxed for his ship.
The torpedo boat?
Aircraft carrier.
May I borrow your phone, Mr. Bagowitz?
I should be most honoured, champ.
Allow me to get the number for you, Captain Wagstaff. I'm mad about his aftershave. Who do you want?
Mr. Bone. There's a rather worrying thought has struck me. I haven't asked Mr. Bone's permission, and of course he may not allow the fight to proceed.
Well, it's going to happen on Saturday afternoon. He won't know anything about it.
No, we won't say anything.
Well, as a matter of principle, I think I ought to tell him.
Just see a bit of the pink from here.
I can see quite a lot from here.
I'm not going to rush it, though.
Take all the time in the world.
Excuse me, Mr. Bone. Captain Wagstaff's on the phone.
Oh, hello, Wagstaff. What's all this I hear about you having a punch-up on Saturday?
Oh, you've heard about it. Well, I thought it only fair to consult you, sir, as I felt you may want to ban it.
Ban it? I'm looking forward to it. I've got $10 on.
Well, I hope I don't let you down.
No, it's not on you. It's on the other fella. He did very well in the inter-store finals. He knocked out the heavyweight from Sports Girl.
Oh.
Wagstaff, Are you there, Wagstaff?
At least that works.
Come on, Miss Buxton. Let's get the good seat by the ringside.
Now, where's Captain Wagstaff? Is he still in the dressing room?
He hasn't even arrived at the dressing room yet.
We haven't seen him since Friday night.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, my hero. I knew you wouldn't let us down.
Thank you, Mrs. Crawford. Of course, I wouldn't let you down normally.
What?
Well, as a precaution, I went for a final checkup. And before I realized what was happening, it injected me with some antibiotics.
Now, what difference does that make?
To my dismay, the doctor pointed out that after taking antibiotics, one mustn't drink or box.
My doctors have never told me that.
Perhaps they thought in your case it wouldn't apply.
Does that mean you can't fight Wagstaff?
In a word, I'm afraid so.
But the honour of the whole department is at stake. I mean, I accepted the challenge.
Well, in that case, you go and fight him.
I can't fight. I wear glasses.
We'll take them off.
I hope someone's going to fight him. I haven't given up my afternoon's bingo to see a lot of lily-livered fairies making excuses.
I should be most happy to step into the breach if you think a man with one lung and a trust will be of any assistance.
No, we've got two younger people than you.
I would, you see, were it not for the fact that my mother, for whom the slightest excitement could prove fatal, made me join this religious sect.
Oh, it's called Cowards Anonymous.
Now, what about you, Mr. Humphries?
Well, I've never boxed in my life. Now, wrestling, that's another matter.
Oh, I would never have thought you were the wrestling type.
They used to call me Hugger Humphrey. They used to pull me off people. You know, I was the catch-as-catch-can champion of the Barlymore Road Mixed Infant.
Looks like it's down to Mrs. Crawford and Miss Buxton, and my money is on Mrs. Crawford.
Weak as water. If I was a man, I'd be up there.
We'll have to cancel the match and wait until Captain Wagstaff's better.
I may well be on antibiotics for the rest of my life.
Ah, Mr. Franco, I'm afraid we have bad news.
You better hear our bad news first. Due to the size of Mr. Franco's hands, Sports Department haven't got a pair of gloves to fit him.
Chickening out, eh?
I'm not chickening out.
I'll fight you with my bare hands.
You mean wrestling?
Anything you like.
What about catch as catch can?
My favourite. Well, unfortunately, I'm only a boxing man.
Chickening out, eh?
Certainly not, Mr. Humphries.
I'm not free.
Oh, yes. I'm here, Mr. Humphries.
No, now stop it, no, please. Mr. Randall, no, put me down, put me down.
Come on, take his trousers off.
Oh, no!
I never thought those words could cause such mixed emotions. I've never seen anything like this since Emmanuel II.
Take his things off.
You very nearly did.
My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, on my right, Mr. Franco of Sports Equipment. And on my left, Mr. Wilberforce Claiborne Humphries of Gents Ready Made. This is a 3-round contest. 2 falls or submission will decide the winner, or one of the parties running away. Not yet, sir, not yet. I never seen a boy so keen. Right, go to your corners and come out fighting when I ring the bell.
Remember, you're standing up for the honour of the whole department.
You tell my legs that.
Round 1.
Are you listening?
Well, I haven't got much choice, have I?
Have you got any grudge against me?
No, I'm sure under different circumstances we could get on quite well.
Right. In that case, all we got to do is make it look good.
Well, I'm entirely in your hands.
Have you seen the flying crossbar?
Not for a couple of weeks.
Right. First, I'm going to twirl you around on my shoulders, and then I'll crash you down on the mat. It's called the propeller.
What am I going to do?
Just give an agonised yell.
I think I can manage that.
He's giving him the flying propeller.
Not yet!
I'll be the judge.
That was a good yell. You've played this game before.
Not with so many people watching.
Right. Now I'm going to get you in the Patagonian nose hole.
I see.
It looks like pure agony.
Yes, excuse me. Isn't it time I got you into something?
No. Not yet. They've got to hate me first. And they'll love you when you get your revenge. Now you ready? Don't forget the yell.
Oh, he's rough. That's the Patagonian nose hole.
They're hating me now.
Yes, I'm not so keen on you myself.
I just remembered one. Oh, God. The Brazilian elbow jar.
Oh, he's killing him. What's he doing? That's the Brazilian elbow jar. He'll do him a mischief. That's it, I've seen enough.
Are you going home?
No, I'm going in. Now, get out.
Oh, no. Oh, this is silly. Oh, this is silly. Oh, no.
Are you being served, sir? I'm Humphries, and I'm free. Are you being served, sir? What would you like to see? If you'd like some swimming trunks, we've got them plain or spotty. We've also got some see-through that really tan your beachwear. Oh, these are gay. There's plenty round the back. And if you'd like to fit a flat, then try a plastic mat. I'm Humphries, and I'm free.